Skylanders situation is crazy. What's up, guys? I'm back. It's me again. A little bit of a different video this time, not really talking about NFC cards, but just my thoughts on the new Skylanders, like the future of the franchise, I guess. The future of the Skylanders franchise. And I just want to talk about the Xbox 360 stuff, specifically the website xboxgamepreservation.com, which is made by Flassing on Twitter. And, it's really, really cool to see so many votes for the Skylanders franchise. We have 28,000 votes for Spyro's Adventure right now, which absolutely clears every other franchise on that website. But what's really cool is all of the games have like 25,000 plus, which is double what the Transformers ones have. And that's awesome. And the creator has gone on Twitter and said, yeah, there's only like 55 of these are like suspicious and I removed them. So they're real people. Real people actually are voting for this and saying, yeah, we want a new Skylanders game. Or we want these Skylanders games ported on Xbox Game Pass, which is really great to see. I love seeing all this excitement about one of my favorite franchises. So I wanted to just kind of go through some other stuff that I thought was interesting, some stuff that people had not really been talking about in the Skylanders community, as to why I think we actually are seeing a really, really good chance of a remake or a remaster or of some sort in the next coming years. So it was commented on, as a lot of us know, the Xbox Vice President, Jason Ronald, on Twitter. He said, this is a website where you can go and make your requests known. And that's great. It shows that Microsoft is listening to their communities and they're making sensible decisions thanks to their new CEO, Asha Sharma, who does not come from a video game background. She comes from a tech background with Facebook and all that good stuff. So she's a business person. And you know what? Clearly, whatever the Xbox was doing before Asha Sharma showed up, it was not working because Xbox was really going downhill for a long time. And thank God they have her, because if you read any of her interviews or any of her blog posts on the Xbox website, she is doing a great job of just listening to what people want, getting a vibe for like what the gaming industry like is, and making sensible decisions off of that. So if you go to articles that Asha Sharma has written, this is Next 100 Days Xbox Reset, link's going to be in the description. One of the first things she says is, we are looking at growing our service again and reintroducing exclusives, Gears of Day, Clockwork Revolution, and continuing to expect signature exclusives from us every year. In parallel, Playground Games reminded us that established franchises can achieve incredible new highs. That's great news for the Skylanders franchise, because what is an established franchise? Skylanders, obviously. And, they're taking note of what they have and doing good things with it. And you see that in her fourth point down here. She says they want a reliable pipeline of first and third party exclusives and new IPs and stuff like that. So we're not only seeing just a growth of Xbox in general and kind of going back to their roots, just making cool games. She also says, we are the fortunate stewards of industry-defining franchises that have enormous potential and player demand. So they're listening to two things. They're listening to player demand, which has been demonstrated through this Xbox game preservation site, and, they just know that they have that IP. They know what they have, and I could see Xbox doing good stuff with that in the future. So anyway, that to say, maybe they're not talking about Skylanders specifically yet, but I think Skylanders kind of fits that situation to a T. It has player demand and it has a lot of potential. So that's good news right there. U2s as well. I think, seeing all the hype for the U2s and seeing how our voice has affected the U2s shipments. We saw that U2s recalled the Drobot and the Chop Chop plushes because they weren't up to standard, and we saw that and we clocked them on it. It's like, hey, Chop Chop's headpiece is backwards. That's not good. You should fix that. And they said, okay, we're gonna fix it. And they're fixing it right now. And that was because of a nice, civilized community pointing out a mistake and saying, hey, we are gonna put our money where our mouth is. And they heard that, And so they're responding based on the community voice. Well, I know U2's is a very different company than Microsoft, obviously, but it's kind of just an example of, hey, we've already actually demonstrated power, and I think we will continue to do so. Some other just really, really good signs. In that tweet where Jason Ronald brings up the Xbox Game Preservation website in response to somebody on Twitter, dude, this guy just making like this one tweet just like single-handedly sent so many like news articles amok and stuff like that. It's so crazy to think. Like, I wonder if he knew what he was doing when he said that on May 1st, but clearly people have taken it and ran with it, which is great to see. But he actually replied to somebody later on saying, hey, there's a game I wanted to purchase, but it's unavailable to buy right now. I noticed like a lot of the old arcade classics are like this. And he replied to that guy and said, yeah, there's titles that are unfortunately no longer available for sale, but we were able to work with the original creators to enable them to be backwards compatible for those who already own a digital or physical copy of the game. And I think that is a way, way bigger deal for the Skylanders franchise, because what he's saying is, hey, we are willing to work with the original developers of popular games that we know have demand, and we are willing to make those work on modern systems, which is exactly what we would need for Skylanders, because we have really unique peripherals. We have a Skylanders portal, we have Skylanders figures, we have this entirely unique ecosystem that would need special attention in order to work on modern platforms, and they are saying we are willing to do that, essentially. And that is really, really great to hear, because I know that's a really big concern of people, is that, hey, this is like not feasible, it's not like economically feasible, and here we have, again, VP of Xbox here saying, hey, we're willing to make that happen, essentially. And to that point, I think that making more like portals and like releasing them is not as big of a deal as people are saying. I know people are throwing around the term like free money, like Skylanders is free money, it's just an IP sitting there. I do not think Skylanders is free money. I think there is substantial work that the franchise would need to have put into it, and they would need to spend some money, maybe doing some development on a new portal that would work cross-system or with the Xbox One, but I don't think it's free money per se, but I think it is like effort that they're willing to put in, because everything has an NFC reader in it nowadays. Your phone has an NFC reader in it, like every cash register you go to has an NFC reader in it. Like, NFC technology has taken over our modern world, and putting one of those inside of a piece of plastic to read Skylanders, I mean, your phone can do that. Literally, like, there are so many things that can do that. There's like on Amazon that you can get for like $10-15 to read and write Skylanders figures. And that is like the same technology that they would mass produce in a factory for the Skylanders portals. Xbox is constantly making shit. Do you see all the controllers they're making? Like, video game companies just do that. They make weird things, and sometimes they sell and sometimes they don't. I don't think it is beyond them, especially when they, again, have said, hey, we're willing to work with the original people. They're still on good terms with Toys for Bob, which I'll get to later, but I don't think making a new portal's out of the question. I think the components are fairly inexpensive, and I think that they're willing to do something like that for a very special and valuable franchise such as Skylanders. So that's about all I have to say regarding Xbox specifically. And so those are the big dogs. They're not bringing up Skylanders specifically, but they are definitely not beating around the bush regarding to Skylanders, but like the things they are saying are very applicable to Skylanders as well. So I think there's some hope there. Now, people who are talking about Skylanders directly, let's talk about Toys for Bob. Obviously, I hope you guys are aware that there is a new Spyro game that is coming out spring of 2027. Oh my god, that is so absurdly exciting. I am really, really happy for Spyro fans, obviously. I'm really happy for Toys for Bob getting to work on an IP that they have so much love for, and they have spent a lot of time on in the past. And I'm happy for us, because more Spyro definitely means more Skylanders. I mean, he's the Skylander. he's the guy. He's literally in the title of the first game, Skylanders Spyro's Adventure. So Spyro hype means Skylanders hype. And that is really good news for us. If you watch the Toys for Bob interview between Paul Yan and Lou Studdert with some dude from IGN, literally the first franchise they mentioned that is not Spyro in that interview is Skylanders. They're like, yeah, we have worked in the past on Skylanders, and that, you know, made us really excited about doing Spyro. They've been working on this game for 2 years, mind you. They have this in the works, so they have their heads in a spot where they have been working on retro games for a while, and they are obviously really excited to work on this IP again. They quote, like, they want to return to the games that they are most passionate about making, because for a long time they were just stuck making like Call of Duty and other like shooter games, which I'm not going to get into those games, but it's obviously not like Toys for Bob's bread and butter. It's not their favorite series to work on. That is Skylanders, that is Crash Bandicoot, that is Spyro. That is their whimsical, lovely 3D platformers that we all know and love. And yeah, it was just always part of the plan when they went indie to make this new Spyro game. They said they were going to bet on themselves and what they do best. And there's just a really big resounding consensus of, we want to make this new Spyro game because it's who we are and what we love to do. And I think, you know, they say Skylanders at least 5 times throughout that interview. That like 10-minute interview. They are frothing at the mouth to get it out there. They were really excited to talk about Spyro again, but you can tell they're also really excited to talk about Skylanders again. And you can see that further when you go into their Instagram. Obviously, this is probably just some social media intern, like the actions of an individual, obviously speaking for this company. But it is worth noting that they are talking about Skylanders like a good amount in that comment section. There's people commenting like, oh man, I really wish there was a new Skylanders game instead of this new Spyro game. And that is very notable because Toys for Bob is liking those comments. They're replying to them. They're saying like no to the naysayers. They're like, yeah, they said Spyro isn't coming back, and look at it. So obviously it's not like a confirmation. Don't like be harassing Toys for Bob on Instagram comments or Twitter or whatever. I have seen that all over the place over the years. But, you know, they do like to see the energy and the love for one of their favorite series. So I think we should keep that coming. I think we should keep voting on Xbox game compatibility. I think that we should keep commenting on their Instagram. And I think that we as a community should keep doing what we do best. Make more mods, make art, make Skylanders videos, you know, just show your love for this game. And I think in turn, other people will see our love for this game and maybe consider taking it just a couple steps further. So yeah, I think that's about all I really wanted to say. I did reach out to the creator of the Xbox game compatibility website, just kind of asking some questions about the development of that and stuff. I'll let you guys know if I hear back. But yeah, he seems like a cool guy. And really looking forward to the future of this franchise, because I think it is looking brighter each and every day. Thank you. Well, now.